Have you ever pondered why the moon, our celestial neighbor, appears to change shape throughout the month? Why does it sometimes appear as a thin crescent, at other times as a full, glowing orb, and sometimes seems to disappear entirely? Today we're going to delve into the captivating world of lunar phases and their effects. The moon doesn't produce any light of its own, it simply reflects sunlight. As it orbits the Earth, different portions of the moon are illuminated, creating the phases we see from our vantage point. This cycle, from new moon to full moon and back again, occurs over about 29.5 days. Our journey begins with the new moon phase. From our perspective on Earth, the moon is located between the Earth and the Sun, with its dark side facing us. This makes it virtually invisible in the night sky. As the moon continues its orbit, we move into the waxing crescent phase. Only a tiny sliver of the moon is illuminated, resembling a thin, glowing crescent in the sky. Then comes the first quarter phase, where half of the moon's surface is illuminated. It's called the first quarter not because of how much of the moon is visible, but because the moon is 1/4 of the way through its orbit. Next up, the waxing gibbous phase. More than half of the moon is illuminated now, but it's not quite full yet. Then, we arrive at the full moon phase. The moon is on the opposite side of the Earth from the Sun, and its entire face is illuminated. It shines brightly in the night sky, a sight to behold. From here, the moon starts to wane or shrink. The waning gibbous phase is up next, where more than half of the moon is still illuminated, but less than during the full moon. Following this, we reach the third quarter or last quarter phase. Again, half of the moon is illuminated, but this time it's the other half. Finally, we come to the waning crescent phase. Only a sliver of the moon is left illuminated, and soon we'll be back to the new moon and the cycle begins anew. So how does this lunar cycle affect us? Well, the most noticeable effect is on our oceans. The moon's gravitational pull is responsible for our tides. When the moon is full or new, we experience spring tides, where the high tides are higher and the low tides are lower. During the first and third quarter phases, we have neap tides, with less difference between high and low tide. In summary, the moon's phases are a result of its orbit around the Earth and the reflection of sunlight. It goes through a cycle of new moon, waxing crescent, first quarter, waxing gibbous, full moon, waning gibbous, third quarter, and waning crescent over roughly 29.5 days. These phases not only create a captivating spectacle in our night sky, but also significantly influence our ocean tides. So the next time you gaze up at the night sky, remember, the moon is more than just a beautiful sight. It's a celestial body on a continuous journey around our planet, casting its glow in different ways and subtly shaping our world.